called Crimewatch. And what Crimewatch is kind of our own social media. The police department decided to kind of move away from Facebook, not completely, but direct everybody to Crimewatch. The reason that we've decided to do that is so we can control our own narrative. A lot of times, we'll post things on Facebook, events or attaboys for officers doing good jobs, and we just generate a ton of negative narratives from individuals. So we've decided we're going to try to draw everybody to Crimewatch. And the thing about Crimewatch is when you sign up for Crimewatch, you agree to the standards of use because it's a private business and it's a subscription that we pay for. So we can control legally who comments and things like that. So anyway, I'll kind of go through. It's really really similar to a web page, and in that we've kind of set it up. You can see the tabs across the top. We decided, since we're going to drive everybody to this platform, that we would like to have as much information up there as possible. The home key, I have a message, welcoming everybody to the site, tabs for each department. We post our arrests. If we have cases that we're working, we need help on, we'll post those. We can create an incident blotter for some of the minor things that if individuals are interested in seeing what's going on, what officers are doing. Warrants. We're not going to put every warrant on here, but our felony warrants we'll probably post on here, trying to generate leads, and find those individuals. Missing persons, most wanted. We have our services, what the police department provides, and under each one of these it breaks down, so it's very informative. Some programs. We did the Citizens Academy last year, was very successful. We want to continue that once a year, so we've put that on there with information, kind of leading up to it. A little bit on graffiti removal. We also have forms. If somebody wants to compliment an officer, they can through there. If they want to complain, they can submit a complaint. Businesses and residents can register alarms. And something new that I'm kind of excited about is the camera registry. Businesses and residents who have video cameras at their residence can go on and sign an agreement saying that if asked, they would provide us footage. It doesn't give us access to their cameras. They're only saying that we agree if you come and ask us for some footage, we will give that to you. And why I like that is if, we get a lot of car break-ins, a lot of times it's a crime of opportunity and individuals will walk down the street checking car doors. And a lot of times they're walking in front of residents that have Ring doorbell and things like that. And if we get some car burglaries, we can go on a map on Crimewatch and we can identify cameras on that street, and we can go to those people and ask them for footage between this day, in the hopes that we can identify a suspect and maybe solve that crime and hold those criminals responsible. So that's something that's going to be exciting for me anyway. You can submit a crime tip, traffic complaint. We put some information on how to join our team, and I've also put up outside resources. So the other area law enforcement agencies, so if somebody comes here but they're looking for the sheriff's office or Mancos Marshal, Dolores, they can go here. Area governments, the city of Cortez, Montezuma County, things like that. The emergency manager, there's always good information there. Family services, the district attorney, and some websites for identity theft, for information on identity theft and to report cybercrime. So that's pretty much it. So the kind of the meat and potatoes is it is just kind of a social media, kind of a forum. It's got news, you know, things that we support. National Police Week, this week is National Police Week. We support that. You can click in to each of them to kind of read the full story if you choose, you know. And let us all please remember Officer Del Claxton, one of our officers that was killed in the line of duty. So, National Police Week. You know, another thing is a new officer. You know, we've hired a new officer. We post that. Warrants or arrests. This individual had a warrant out of our jurisdiction. Was apprehended in Dolores County. We can put that. Oh, man. And just other warrants, controlled substance. News, there's a fentanyl awareness class that's coming up. You know, people can sign up for that. And then older things, the community intervention program. So just kind of designed to inform the community. Put us out there, let us create our own narrative, and tell our own story. And I think that's very important because a lot of times we don't get information out, and the social media warriors pick that up and run with it, and they really put out a false narrative. They don't know the facts. And I think, you know, this is going to help the police department with that. Anyway, that's kind of what we're doing to be more transparent with the community, get information out, and I just wanted council to see this program and where we're going with it. That's it.
So, Chief Knuckles, first and foremost, it's really an inviting, like, attractive website. Like, it just, the colors and everything pop, and, you know, it's really intuitive, it looks like to use, and so kudos to you and whoever really helped to develop it. I think it's fantastic. My only question is, it's hard for me to see from here, is it a part of or embedded within the city website, or is there a link on the city website that will take someone to this?
So we're going to put a link on our website. So with the new website, the police department's getting a page. That'll be there. That'll come up with Google searches and everything, and there will be a link so people can click on that and go there. The website will have pretty much the same information. Crimewatch will have more of the, you know, the arrests, the stories, what the police department's doing. Another thing we can do, if you get the Crimewatch app to do this, we can put out broadcasts, so we can work with Public Works, or if street closures, we can put that on there. It's pretty user friendly, and it will let everybody know, you know, Mildred from Maine to Empire will be closed. So it also kind of puts out broadcasts and things like that. So.
Chief, can I ask, I see that there's still like the Facebook icon on the website. Are you intending to cross-post to the website or to the Facebook page from your website? Or are you just exclusively, for the most part, posting and sharing information on this website? And how are you going to drive traffic to the website?
Okay, so with Crimewatch, we've linked, we don't have Twitter. And I don't know how big Twitter is. We've talked about it. They're working on Instagram. I think that's a little bigger. But Facebook is connected. And when we post a story, it should automatically post to our Facebook page. So what's nice about Crimewatch as well is that, you know, for the arrests and the warrants that we have on there, those will post to Facebook. That post, somebody else shares it. If you just do that on Facebook, that post gets lost in Facebook world. So when we page, a lot of times it stays out there, and that's not fair to those individuals when they are adjudicated and things are taken care of. Through Crimewatch tracks where that goes, so when we pull it off Crimewatch, it pulls it from everywhere. So that's going to be very helpful, keeping everything clean. But when it posts to Facebook, when somebody clicks on that Facebook post, it will direct them right to this page. So, and the reason we want them to come here is because, if I don't shrink it again, is because if people are looking at this, if we post a feel-good story to Facebook and it directs them back here and then they start looking through this, and they know this gentleman, they can submit a tip through Crimewatch and say, hey, I know where this guy's hanging out, and then we can go and maybe take care of it. So that's kind of another reason. We want to drive them because we want to inform them, but we also want to drive them here so that they can help be involved as much as this is in reducing crime and helping the police department do our job. So,
Thank you.
you bet. Any other questions? Thank you, Council.
Can I ask a few?
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
First, the phone number at the top, is that considered then like the non-emergency phone number?
That is the business phone number.
Okay, so if someone wants to essentially report something over the phone, but it's not a 911
Yeah.
related emergency, okay, then they can call that phone number.
Yeah, that's the general
Yeah.
police department number.
And then under programs, do you have a page or something specifically for the CIP program? Because I saw the posting, but I'm afraid that'll get lost over time, and since it's an established program.
It will, and I probably won't put it, and that's a good, I didn't think of that, that's actually a good idea. I won't put it under programs because that's PD programs and Crimewatch is not our program. I will
Okay.
put it over in other resources.
Okay. And then my last question is, if a citizen wants to do a ride-along, can they go here to sign up, or?
You know, we could put that under forms because we typically have them fill out a form. They could fill that out. It notifies key individuals, and then we can follow up from there. Yeah,
Okay,
we could do that as well.
great.
And I have one last question too. Is this live now? Like, are you starting to get it out so that folks can go to it and see what's going on?
This is live now. We took it live. You know, with everything new, we wanted to kind of. I went back and I populated content from the first of the year. So there's things there for people to go look at. If they're not visiting our Facebook page, there will be stuff on there that they haven't seen. So I went back and populated it, and once we got some stuff in there, some content to wow you guys, I guess, we went live. So it is live. I have the app. I put the police officer, Memorial Week on there, and it notified my watch, my phone said, hey, there's a new post. So I think if people sign up, that'll help drive people to it as well.
So you mentioned, and maybe you just we're talking about the same thing. I'm kind of familiar with Nixle. I have it on my phone, and it comes up on my email and stuff like that. This will have the same capability
Yes,
Okay.
it's the same capability, and it's under a broadcast, and I can appear. So, and this is my login, so I can create content, and the public facing won't have those tabs up where I'm at. But the page, that's where you put content on the overall page, you know, the home, chief's message. The news post is like motorcycle safety awareness was posted under that. A slide, this is where it's scrolling through is a slide. You can put events on. Relates to a calendar that somebody would have to go and physically find, and I don't know that that's super useful. I mean, if somebody sees calendar, I don't know that I would, maybe. And then, so there's arrest, broadcast, case, incidents, and warrants. So the broadcasts are the kind of like the Nixle. It will put out something to their phone that says, so between Nixle and PageGate and Crimewatch, there's a bunch of notification things out there that are available to the community. Yep. So, and what's limiting about Crimewatch is that broadcast would only go out to somebody that has subscribed to it. You know, where Nixle will go out to a whole community. So, I mean, it's limited.
And are you the only person that's putting in content right now, or is there somebody that's dedicated to actually keeping it up to date and up to speed?
There's quite a few of us. So I sent all of my patrol sergeants, the patrol lieutenant, and a couple other officers to PIO school. They all have the ability to create and publish. Officers in general can create content, but it has to be reviewed before it can be published. So, you know, if they work an accident or they're on duty when something good happens and they want to get it out there, they can create that content. It will send publishers. All publishers will get an email notification saying there's something for review, and you go in and you click on it, and then if it's good, you publish it right away. So, I mean, this, you know, social media for anybody is a beast, and I'm not denying that this is going to be quite a bit of work to keep up on, but I'm dedicated to really putting a lot of effort in this and start getting, you know, like start telling our own story. So.
Well,
And
thank you.
Also, I've reached out to all the news medias, and they should be getting notifications, and I need to follow up with that. But when we publish something, it should notify all, I think KSJD, well, I know I did everybody, so I need to follow up and see if they're getting, so if something comes up that they're interested in, then that drives them to us to, if they're interested in running a story about it. So I've gone long, but.
Well, great. It looks really great, and thank you for sharing this with us, Chief.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so then we're going to move on to 4B, a proclamation for National Hospital Week on May 8th to 14th, 2022. And Councilmember Robert Dobry has offered to read this.
Okay. Proclamation, National Hospital Week, May 8th through 14th, 2022. Whereas National Hospital Week is May 8th through 14th, 2022, and the official theme is We Are Healthcare, and whereas individuals across all the country will be celebrating this time-honored event, and whereas the hardworking people that compose our health system deserve universal regard and appreciation for keeping our community healthy. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Rachel B. Medina, Mayor of Cortez, Colorado, hereby proclaims May 8th through 14th, 2022 to be Hospital Week in Cortez, Colorado, with the official theme, We Are Healthcare, and urge residents to express their appreciation to the people, facilities, for the people, facilities, and technologies that make trustworthy, reliable healthcare possible in our community. Witnessed by her hand this 10th day of May 2022.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to 4C, Proclamation for Historic Preservation Day on May 21st, 2022. Proclamation for Historic Preservation Day. Whereas May is National Historic Preservation Month, and whereas walking tours of Cortez historic buildings will be given during the day on Saturday, May 21st, 2022, and a sneak preview of the Montezuma Heritage Museum will be offered. And whereas these events are sponsored by the Cortez Historic Preservation Board, the Cortez Cultural Center, the Montezuma County Historical Society, and the Cortez Retail Enhancement Association. And whereas the City of Cortez recognizes the importance of keeping the historic history of Cortez and the surrounding area alive through education and cultural opportunities. Therefore, I, Rachel B. Medina, Mayor of the City of Cortez, do hereby proclaim May 21st, 2022 as Historic Preservation Day, and do hereby urge the citizens of this community to recognize and support the opportunities to learn more about the history of our community through various events held that day. Witness my hand this 10th day of May 20th, 22. Okay. And then 4C, we'll move on to 4D, Proclamation in Recognition of Bike to Work Day 2022. And Councilmember Arlena Yazzie has offered to read this.
Proclamation in Recognition of Bike to Work Day 2022. Whereas for more than a century, the bicycle has been a utilitarian and economically sound and effective means of personal transportation, recreation, mental well-being, and physical fitness. And whereas Bike to Work Day 2022 will provide residents the opportunity to safely and comfortable get needed exercise and improve mental and physical health. And whereas biking reduces traffic, lowers the need for parking spaces, improves air quality, and saves citizens money at the gas pump or car charger. And whereas biking increases the vibrancy of our community, since people are not hidden away inside cars, but will rather get to meet their neighbors and interact with new faces. And whereas the City of Cortez encourages physical, mental, and emotional wellness, and whereas numerous local businesses will provide incentives for people who bike into work. Now, therefore, be it resolved at the City of Cortez that Bike to Work Day be declared throughout the City of Cortez on Friday, May 20th, 2022, and that neighboring jurisdictions be encouraged to adopt similar proclamations, and that all citizens be reminded of the importance of safety and respect for the rules of the road to cyclists and drivers alike. Sign this 10th day, May 2022, Rachel B. Medina, Mayor.
And then I'd just like to add a comment about Friday, May 20th for Bike to Work Day. In the morning from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. there will be 2 stations around town for folks who bike to work. One station will be at Wild Edge and one will be at the Cortez Rec Center. There will be coffee and snacks and water. And then in the evening, there will be a station at Wild Edge, and we encourage folks to end their day there. We encourage people to bike to work that day. Thank you. Okay.
Mayor Medina, before we move on, I think there's a representative from the Historic Preservation Board that would like to receive that proclamation before she goes.
All right, it's signed and ready. Yeah.
The owner of a historic house listed on the city register.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Okay. So then we'll move on. We have no public hearings tonight, and we have no unfinished business. So we're going to move on to new business, 7A. Resolution number 15, Series 2022, presented by Nancy Dalstahl, our contract city planner.
Good evening. I don't think I've met all of you, but I'm Nancy Dalstahl. And I have here for you tonight a very simple request to consolidate 2 lots in Sedona Estates, Phase 3, lots 42 and 43. The owner of the lot is Habitat for Humanity. They hope to combine the 2 lots into one little more than third of an acre lot. They will place one manufactured home on the property zone manufactured home, And it's currently vacant, as I said. We've reviewed it with affected agencies. There were really no comments at all. I provided what we received there for you. Staff's recommending approval.
All right, do we have any discussion or questions for Nancy on this? I guess I'm curious the reasoning between combining the lots.
Yeah, I think as you can see, well, Habitat's here if you'd like them to speak, but as you can see from the exhibit, the map, with a manufactured, the lots are deep but narrow. And with a manufactured home, which faces the street, it's long and narrow. So we need to combine it to make it fit on those lots.
Okay.
I drove by this site Sunday morning, and it makes sense to me. I mean, I can see, too, that the orientation of the home is a necessity for that. That's what it looks like.
All right, do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to approve on resolution number 15, series 2022, approving the amended plat for lots 42 and 43 of the Sedona Estates subdivision phase 3 as submitted by the owner Habitat for Humanity of Montezuma County with the 2 conditions attached.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the table made by Councilmember Kiefhoffer and seconded by Dobry. Any further discussion on the motion? Then we'll take a roll call.
Yazzie.
Aye.
Kiefhoffer.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
DeHaven.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Medina.
Aye. Okay. Move on to 7B, resolution number 16, series 2022, presented by Nancy Dalstahl.
Thank you. This is another fairly simple request, slightly more complicated though. In this case, the applicant is Mesa Holdings. They're also present in the room tonight if you have questions. The request is to take 3 parcels of property, combine them into 2, and adjust the boundary. The main parcel is where the White Eagle Inn is located. It's zoned commercially. The parcel behind it is a residential zone parcel. But when the lot was purchased, the White Eagle Inn was purchased, it was discovered that the access was actually on the adjacent property. So the boundary adjustment will allow access, facilitate access to the back of the White Eagle Inn and also the residential property. It doesn't affect any of the existing zonings, and all the lots will now be compliant with existing zoning and have good access. So again, we sent this out to agencies, didn't get any comments except for one plat note comment that can be addressed prior to recordation. Again, staff is recommending approval of the adjustments.
All right, any questions or discussion?
I'm sorry, I do have a real quick question. Can you say again how it was discovered that the easement was not attached?
Well, it may be better that the applicants are here, but as I understand it, after the lot was purchased, and I think their letter is in there, after the White Eagle Inn was purchased, surveys were completed, and it was found that what they thought was the access to the back of the property was not actually on the property.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution Number 16, Series 2022, approving an amended plot for 3 parcels of land located in this southwest for SW for Section 34, Township 34 North, Range 16 West, New Mexico, Principal Meridian, as submitted by Mesa Holdings LLC with 2 conditions. Man, I couldn't have picked a harder one.
Dobry?
Second.
Oh,
Aye.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Do you want to repeat the motion? Go ahead.
Oh, I'll just say that Arlena made a, or Councilmember Yazzie made a motion and Dobry seconded it? Councilmember Rainey seconded. All right, Linda.
Dobry?
Aye.
Kiefhoffer?
Aye.
DeHaven?
Aye.
Rainey?
Aye.
Yazzie?
Aye.
Medina?
Aye. All right, thank you, planning. Okay, we're going to move on to 7C, bid results on the 2022 concrete cost share project, presented by Brian Peckins, our Director of Public Works.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, the City of Cortez provides an annual sidewalk cost share program to help residents and business owners either install new sidewalk or replace deteriorated sidewalks on their property. The program encourages and promotes improvement of our public walkways by offering a 50% cost share agreement with local residents. This year's project includes removal and replacement of approximately 300 square yards of damaged concrete sidewalk, 815 linear feet of curb and gutter, 50 square yards of new concrete sidewalks, 120 square yards of ADA curb ramps, and miscellaneous other concrete work throughout the city. The Street Capital Fund has $210,000 budgeted for concrete and storm drain work this year, and the cost share participants will reimburse the city by approximately $12,500. Recommend council award the 2022 concrete cost share project to B&B Contract at their bid price of $178,848.10.
All right, any questions for Brian?
So when people sign up for this program, I'm assuming that these are sidewalks that were identified last year or earlier this year in order for us to kind of get a rough estimate of how much damaged concrete, et cetera, to get an accurate bid.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess when is the next round, or when does that happen? I'm unaware.
I mean, it's not too late. Like, I think we're going to take the Veterans Memorial sidewalk. We're going to include that, and that just came up not too long ago. So it's really never too late.
Okay.
You know, as long as we have funding, we can continue to support.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that both of the contractors, or both of the bidders, are, they're both in Montezuma County, but not in Cortez, so it didn't affect, our local preference didn't come into play. Is that correct?
I will have to check on that.
And have we done work with B&B Concrete before?
Yes, but it's been a few years ago.
Okay. And then you mentioned the sidewalk for the Veterans Park, that will be included? Okay,
Yes.
great, and there's a plan for that? Because I
We're
remember they
working on the
presented
plan
last
right
year.
now.
Okay, great, I'm glad we can wrap that into this project.
Mayor, if I can jump in there, just looking at the documents here and answering Councilmember Dobry's question. In the memo here, it mentions that B&B Concrete is of Dolores and Daniel's Concrete and Excavation is of Cortez. I don't know if that's inside the city or out, but Greater Cortez.
Before we vote on this, could we confirm that? Just because I think that could, if it is in the city, I don't believe it is, but I believe that they're in the county, but it would affect the bid, I think.
Give me just a moment.
Sure.
I guess wouldn't it not go back to the idea of what we consider local to be, which is part of your first question about them both being in Montezuma County?
Well, our local preference is 2% to Montezuma County businesses, but 2.5% Cortez businesses.
Yeah, you're correct, Councilmember.
I'm sorry,
Mayor.
in-town Cortez businesses.
Looking at the map here and Googling it, it actually is in Dolores also.
Okay.
Okay, so just to confirm for the audience, it doesn't, both of them are in Montezuma County, neither is in the city, so it won't affect that. Thank you.
Correct.
All right. Are we ready for a motion then? Any further discussion? Okay. Thanks for asking that, Robert.
I would like to motion to award the 2022 contract cost-sharing project to B&B Concrete at their bid price of $178,848.10.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Councilmember DeHaven and seconded by Councilmember Rainey. If we have no further discussion, we'll call.
Rainey,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Aye.
Yazzie,
Aye.
Dobry,
Aye.
Medina.
Aye. Okay, so then we'll move on to
Thank you.
Thanks. 7D, Resolution Number 12, Series 2022, presented by Chief Knuckles.
Mayor, council. The resolution that we're talking about is to transfer the digital trunk radio equipment on Cavernous Tower to the state. So in 2015, our communications supervisor, Lori Johnson, wrote a grant through DOLA to purchase that equipment. A requirement of the grant was that the city held and maintained that equipment for 5 years. That requirement's been met. So what this resolution is taking this digital equipment and transferring ownership to the Office of Information and Technology through the governor's office, so that they can take over maintenance, upkeep, replacement of this equipment, which I don't know. In the memo it says could save the city several $1,000s. So part of the physical impact is the city would save the money that we may have to spend to upgrade that equipment, maintain it, service it, etc. The equipment sits on a tower that's owned by Southwest Television District. The city would still have to pay for electricity, Forest Service leases, and I think rent, which we already are anyway. So we're really just taking a small portion of what the city's been paying and turning that over to the state, which could be quite a bit of money if something happened. That site's very important for public safety in Montezuma County and parts of La Plata, so it's a pretty important site. And I think turning that over to the state would ensure that site operates without any issues. So it's staff's recommendation that City Council allow the mayor to approve City Council Resolution Number 12, Series 2022, transferring the Cavernous site DTRS, Digital Trunk Radio System, electronic equipment to the State of Office of Information and Technology.
Chief, I just want to make sure that I understood. So it sounds like we're just transferring the upkeep to the state, and we're still paying for the space itself, I guess.
Yep, we still pay rent for the tower, the lease that the Forest Service that we have to have because the tower's on Forest Service, and electricity to run the equipment.
And then another question that I have is, did other communities take advantage of that grant to purchase towers and place them within their communities, or I'm just curious mostly?
I don't know. In 2006, the state kind of moved towards this digital trunk radio system, And when they did that, there was spots around that were dead spots for radio, and that's the reason that the Cavernous Tower, the grant was sought and that equipment was purchased to fill in a pretty significant dead spot on the eastern part of the county, western part of La Plata.
Is there any time limit on the state's agreement to maintain this equipment, or is it perpetual?
It's perpetual. They will take ownership of that equipment.
Okay.
I guess I just want to be clear, maybe reiterate what you said regarding the importance of the tower and just maintaining the tower
Yes.
in terms of public safety,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think that, as citizens, that probably would be the thing that people would be most concerned about. And if someone else can maintain that better than we can, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
For public safety.
And I don't know that the city couldn't maintain that site well. It would just be an additional cost to the city, and I think if the state's willing to take that cost, we should let them.
Did you have a comment, Lydia?
Oh, I just wanted to recognize that I'm a Forest Service employee, so I don't know if I should recuse myself from this. Oh, I said I'm a Forest Service employee, and it's slightly related, but,
I don't think that has anything to
Okay.
do with this. This is simply transferring this equipment
Yeah.
to state ownership in return for them maintaining and using it.
okay, I just wanted to be transparent about that.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, David or Robert?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Chief. Do we have a motion on this?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution Number 12, Series 2022, authorizing the transfer of equipment at the Cavernous Mountain Tower to the state of Colorado.
Second. All right, a motion was made by Councilmember Dobry and seconded by Councilmember Yazzie. Do we have any other discussion? Otherwise, we'll call for the roll.
Kiefhoffer.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
DeHaven.
Aye.
Yazzie.
Aye.
Dobry.
Aye.
Medina.
Aye. All right, we're moving on to 7E on the agenda, ordinance number 1300, Series 2022, presented by Michael Green, our city attorney.
Back quite some time ago, the city transferred real estate to Montezuma Partners as part of an economic development program that came out of the transfer of land to Osprey. When we transferred the land to Montezuma Partners, there was a mistake. It should have been lot, I think it's 2A or 1A instead of lot 1B. And what happened was one of the candidates put a sign on lot 1A and was told he had to take it off because it was city-owned. We then discovered that there had been an error in the deed preparation. And so what's going to happen, Mr. Mitchell Toms came by my office. He's the principal of Montezuma Partners, and he's going to give us a deed giving us back Lot B, and we are going to give him Lot A and correct the error. Lot B is, if I remember correctly, primarily easements and other things. I think there's an easement over to the Carpenter Trail, if I remember correctly, and some other things, so it's not really usable by him for the purpose he wanted. This was a mistake by the scrivener, which is me, and so this is to correct that error.
All right, thank you. Any questions from council members? And this doesn't affect like the price he paid for the lot
No.
or the sale?
No, it's just to correct an error in the legal description that was prepared.
Okay. All right, thank you. I guess if there's no questions, we'll have, is there a motion?
Council, Madam Mayor, council will consider approving on first reading ordinance number 1300, Series 2022, an ordinance approving correction deeds for the sale of real estate to Montezuma Partners LLC and set for public hearing on May 24th, 2022.
Second. All right, a motion to approve first reading and set public hearing was made by Councilmember Rainey and seconded by Councilmember Yazzie. There's no-
Mayor, if I can just interject, can we please get a clear motion on that? That was not very clear. We need an actual motion, please.
David, say, I make a motion.
Madam Mayor and Council, I make a motion that council consider approving on first reading ordinance number 1300, Series 2022, an ordinance approving correction deed for the sale of real estate to Montezuma Partners LLC and set for public hearing on May 24th, 2022.
Second again. All right, a motion made by Councilmember Rainey and seconded by Councilmember Yazzie. We're ready for the call.
Dobry,
Aye.
Kiefhoffer,
Nay.
Rainey,
Aye.
DeHaven,
Aye.
Yazzie,
Aye.
Medina.
Aye. Okay, so we have, moving on the agenda, we have no draft resolutions or ordinances. City attorney report?
No, ma'am.
Okay. City manager report.
I do, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. The following are the current events and topics for the city. First one is City Council interviewed 3 finalists who applied for the city attorney position this past Friday, May 6th, and they did in fact make a selection. Although it's not time yet to name the candidate, we are currently in contract negotiations with that person, as well as conducting the background investigation, and those will need to be done before we plan to release the name. I anticipate having a draft contract in front of council as of May 24th, so next meeting. Number 2, the long-anticipated Community Intervention Program, or CIP, went live on May 1st. City council members, county commissioners, and other dignitaries attended the open house on May 1st at the fire station out on the Dolores Highway. And it was really kind of a pleasure to be there because that was literally their launch. They literally went over the air and started them to work. So it was definitely a distinct honor for the city of Cortez to work with our government and private partners to make this important program come to life. We all look forward to learning about their successes in the field. Third one is CCN broadband. We interviewed all 7 responses to our RFI regarding proposals to the possible lease of the existing broadband system. 4 finalist companies were identified, and those companies, along with the proposals, will be presented to council this evening at executive session and in hopes of obtaining guidance regarding the negotiation phase on that. And then, Mayor, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to do an employee highlight. This was nominated by our library director, Isabella Sharpenstein, and written by her, so everything she writes is oftentimes like a book. So anyway, she puts in here, can't find anything at the library? No worries, because our staff member, Donna Peterson, will guide you in the right direction and may even give some more recommendations by the way. Donna has been with the library for 9 years and knows our collection inside and out. Being a star shelver, she notices when things are out of place, which happens often, and brings back order in the stacks. Donna regularly tends to our new materials shelf to ensure that the newest items can be picked up and that there will be enough space for the new items. Patrons cherish that they can get the best recommendations for their needs because Donna knows our collection so well, especially when it comes to our DVD collection. It also helps that she knows many of our patrons and is well ready for a quick chat and makes patrons feel welcome and at home. She creates a very personal customer experience, which is what we strive for at the library. And coincidentally, I heard from a resident over the weekend at a function I was at that mentioned this lady that for a book about Cortez. So it was kind of timely. So thank you, Mayor and Council.
All right, thank you. Do we have any city council committee reports that folks would like to share? No? Okay, I'll do a mayor's report on the work session. We had Patrick Rondinelli, the Southwest Regional Manager for the Department of Local Affairs, give us a presentation. He talked about the roles and responsibilities of elected officials. Also advice on, or information on advisory boards, planning commission, city manager, citizens, applicants, and staff, and that kind of everyone's role in city government. Also just advice on how to go about our role, about ethics, and the rules and regulations. Okay, if there are no other board reports, we'll go to other items of business, and council will adjourn. Okay, hold on.
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
Can we just let folks know about the second comment period and putting cards?
Oh, yeah. So we are going to go into executive session, but once we come back out, we have our last public participation comment period. So if anyone wants to stick around and make a public comment during that session, there is that available before the end of the meeting. Okay.
I just had one quick question for our attorney. For the second executive session that you had us add to the agenda, would that be for purpose of receiving legal advice, specific legal questions?
Yes, sir.
That first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I'll make the motion then if that works for you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session for the purposes of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiation, developing strategy for negotiation, and/or instructing negotiators under CRS Section 24-6-4024E. That discussion will be held on the lease for the Cortez Community Network. And then a second executive session to conference with, for a conference with our city attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-4024B.
Second.
All right, a motion was made to go into executive session by Councilmember Dobry and seconded by Rainey.
Aye.
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 Aye.